Hello there, welcome back. At this point, it feels like I can do one video a month, and that's a good goal to keep for now. I have made myself some coffee. Hot girls read books. Although I just finished my first book of coming back from having a baby, postpartum. I could not, for the life of me, finish a book, concentrate enough to actually hear what they were saying. So I just finished my book. It's a really good book, a good little recommendation. It's called the Yada Yada Prayer Group. It is a Christian book. And then the second book that I'm almost finished is through the Paper and Glam book club. I have rejoined, and it actually has given me so much great community as well. So it is The Most Famous Girl in the World, and another great book. So just two book recommendations for me, but we're not here for that. We're here to chat about this month. The month of love was rough. I experienced a deep betrayal that I never thought I would, from a person who I considered a friend in my life. Thankfully, not my husband or anything like that. It's just, a girlfriend in my life, actively working against me, actively telling people that they didn't want to work with me. And so it rattled me to my core. It changed me in ways that I didn't like. And yeah, so let's talk about it. So grab your coffee, grab your makeup brushes, and let's chat. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I have figured out how to drink caffeine in my nursing schedule because I am still nursing. All right, I am going to use this very beautiful palette today. It is by Moira, and it's I'm Falling for You, and it's really cute. It's a love letter series palette, so it looks like a letter, and then when you open it, the mirror also looks like a letter, like it's addressed here, and then it's got some stamps, and it's really cute. There was a vellum letter, but I don't know what happened to it. But let's get started with the complexion first. I did have a little bit of the melasma that is going away just really slow. So there's that. I have been really loving this Diamond Perfector by Physicians Formula. It's a mineral wear BB cream, and it does have some flecks in it, or some sheen to it, so you do have to give it a good shake. And this is the color medium to tan. So there you could see the sheen in it. Today we're going to talk about betrayal. I fear I have experienced it for the very first time in ever. I'm going to use this Barbie Beauty Creations Malibu Way Hydrating Facial Mist. Just in the winter, I like it to be a little bit dewy. And this foundation blending brush. So I have unfortunately experienced my very first betrayal, and an actual betrayal. To me, a betrayal is thinking about it more, because I'm is this the first time? This is the first time that I've experienced someone who was a friend who became someone who was actively working against me out of nowhere. I have no idea why, but I will tell you, so many friendships change after you have a baby. I don't know why, but people do treat you differently after you have a baby, and it's unfortunate because it's all women. And my purpose, I feel, in life is to help women, and it's crazy that it's women who are the ones that do the most hurt to other women. But as they say, hurt women hurt women. So let's start there. Back to what I was saying. I'm going to use the Revolution IRL Filter Finish Waterproof Soft Matte Concealer in C4. I like this one because it is matte, and I just put on a very shimmering, like all over face lotion, so I don't want it to be like that as well. Anyways, this is the like I said, betrayal to me is when you don't do anything to that person. In fact, you are ever so kind and loving to that person and they betray you. I learned of that happening to me this month, but apparently it's been going on for months, which is just very sad to hear. And I'll start off first saying when it happened, it completely floored me, like knocked me to the ground type. Like I said, I've never experienced it before, and it is not something fun to experience. When I heard of it, I could not believe it. I obviously was emotional, but like such a involved story. I'm not going to tell you the story time, but I'm just going to tell you like how I overcame it. And yeah, so let me know if you've ever experienced any kind of betrayal by a friend, someone that you considered a friend. It changed so much in these short weeks. Unfortunately, it changed kind of like how much, I guess, access that I want to give people to my life. This is the Bite Changemaker Flexible Coverage Pressed Powder in medium 1, and just a big fluffy brush from Morphe. Most of my brushes are from Morphe. It made me want to like run for cover, you know, and like not expose or give people access to anything about me, because it's one thing for someone to meet me and not like me, like meet me and say, you know what, Anna, you were not for me, you were too much, you were this, that, whatever. That's fair. But it's another thing entirely for someone who you met, hit it off with, like bonded with, for them to turn around. It just, again, floored me. So like I said, it made me want to change. Like the first thing is I realized that I go inward, where I'm like, I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want to, like, everyone is out to get me. It just gave me that like, oh my gosh, if she could do it, anyone could do it, which is true. But I realized that I didn't want to be jaded. You know, I didn't want to be walking around closed off to people. I'm using the Patrick Ta She's Sculpted Cream Contour and Bronzer Duo, just a powder for today. I realized that it started making me not trust people and making me doubt people's intentions and friendship. And like I said, I don't want to be that type of friend. I want to go all in with you. And there's a verse that God gave me actually during the pandemic: live your life open and expansively. I took that as like trying to be that, like trying to be open to anyone who comes and any experience and any opportunity, because that's how God's able to give you more, right? If you have your hand open, then you know God's able to fill it. People live very closed off, and I didn't want that to change me. I'm going to use the NYX Wallflower Bridgerton blush palette. Very pretty colors. I'm going to use this one here. It also has like an iridescence to it. It's so pretty. Also, Bridgerton came out this month. I want to know your thoughts. I have been really paying attention to what I allow into my life through being open. I just have to be more wary and careful, right? And Bridgerton is definitely one of those that you have to be careful with, because I'm not a steamy person, like sex scene type person, and it's very much that way. But honestly, I fast forward all those parts because the storyline is so good. And I love that it's about a big, huge family, because I have a big, huge family and was raised by a single mom. It just resonated so well. And I love that it's like love stories. Oops, this is the Flower Nose. It didn't say, but it's the like gel and liner and gel duo or something like that. When you live openly, you just have to be careful what you're open to, and it's just being wise and and having that discernment. Was very open to everyone, and that's okay. You still can be, but you can just be more careful and discern who you can share what to. Not everyone has the same level of access. And if we go back to the Bible, Jesus had 12 disciples, and one of those betrayed him, right? The ultimate betrayal. But he knew that and still kept him in his life, right? We can keep people in our lives, but they don't have the full access that like his other two like top disciples had, right? John, who was like his best friend. Judas obviously did not have John's level of friendship with Jesus, and it just takes discernment, right? And it takes, like, when you meet someone, like, really pray, like, is this someone that you've intended for my life? Or even when it comes to people who you meet at work, because these are all people who I met through work. Not to say they're not very good friends of mine, or people that you meet through work can't be good friends, but that's, where I met them in this case. Yeah, so that's the first tip I would give, is like, don't let it change who you are as a person or what you live by. If you want to be open, then still be open, just to have discernment and wisdom. I'm going to now go into Me and You. It's like a peachy color. I'm going to just do a little soft. I think I'll do pink today. So that was the first thing, because I did start noticing that I honestly removed everyone from my Instagram. I took down photos of Max. Like, I went full lockdown mode. Well, not full lockdown mode, but as full lockdown mode as like me, who's very open and sharing, can be. Well, that's okay. I still am going to be not posting photos of Max. I actually intended not to, but then he's just so dang cute that I started posting photos, but I took all those down or just archived them. Just posting photos of kids is just different online, but photos of me and my experience and still open and sharing is something that I still want to do. Into Unexpectedly, I'm still such a millennial that I like a highlighted brow. It makes all the difference. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, like, when you experience such a thing, really pray to ask God, what was the point of this? What was the purpose? Why did I just go through all that? Sometimes it takes a long time to understand why. Sometimes it's a little bit quicker. You get the reason. I'm going to go into For You here. But you definitely want to ask God, what was the point of this, or what was the meaning behind this? And God will let you in on that. He will reveal to you what his plan is and why. And sometimes he doesn't purposefully do it, but he allows things to happen in your life so that he can have the opportunity to grow you. Okay, if you can hear my baby, he is just playing, and sometimes he's now big that he hits himself with toys, so he was upset about that. I had to go see what was the deal. Yes, going back to your purpose and why makes such a difference, because then you'll feel like it didn't just happen for no reason, because that we can't consolidate in our head. That we're just like, what was that for? But sometimes when things like this happen, it takes you a while to realize why, but that always helps, the why behind things. I'm going to go into this dreamy color down here. It's like a bright pink, but I'm going to put it over this one, and it just gives it a nice little pink hue to it. I realized that my purpose in life is to help people, specifically women, and I've always seen that purpose play out in my life, but try to help women as much as I can, right? And I'm going to go into Lucky down here. But there's a big facet of women that exists that I didn't touch yet, and that is the betrayal part, right? That's the hurt women part. I've always been around strong women and powerful women, capable women, and this time being around hurt women, sometimes you get hurt in the process, right? That's just one side of being a woman, and it's fair because sometimes women do such things, and you just have to learn that it cannot change you as a person. It can grow you, but it can't change the good things about you. And one of my favorite things about me is that I am so open. I am so when you meet me, I hope you feel like I'm your best friend immediately, you know? I didn't want that to change that part of me, but I did want to learn from it. And that's where you have to, like I said, ask God, what was the purpose here? What was the reason for it? But also, how does this play into like the bigger picture of me, right? Is it going to change you, or is it going to help you grow? Help you be a better person, or, you know, hopefully it does. Now I'm using the Il Maquillage Black Card Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner. Like I said, my purpose is empowering women. I feel like it showed me like it's not just going to be the women who are good that you need to empower. Sometimes it's going to be the women that are hurt. I don't know yet how I can help this person other than I guess what's next in this saga, in this story, is like, I guess, a confrontation, because Jesus did confront. He confronted the Pharisees, he confronted his apostles plenty of times, but he did it with care and like definitely a carefrontation and not a confrontation. So I don't know that I'm there yet with this friend, that I can speak to her without getting upset. So we're just gonna give me some more time. But I think that is what might be next, is reaching back out to her, letting her know that like just hearing the why. What, you know, again, what's the purpose? What was her reasoning? If I can, sometimes you don't get that confrontation either, but I think that would be what God is wanting to grow me into, because I don't confront very well. I get very scared to be confrontational. I will if need be, like at the moment, but it's more defensive. It's more like, oh my gosh, you caught me off guard and now I've got to protect myself and defend myself, and I don't want to have that kind of confrontation with her. So that is what will be next, I guess, but all in due time. Just waiting on the purple one. Oh, that was the Essence Lash Princess Mascara Primer. When you are using tubing mascaras, it's best to use a primer. Something that I learned. I'm going to use the Revolution Wrap Lash. This is a Mega Extension and Volume Tubing Mascara. My favorite lip liner that I've been using right now is Spice. That's one thing that I think I need to learn as a human, as a person, is to confront in a nice, positive way. So that is one thing that I think the good Lord is trying to teach me in this case. And we shall see. The other thing is, just like I said, to have discernment and not let it change me as a person. Let's see, what lipstick shall we use? Gentlemen prefer pink. It is like a frosted pink. I've been really into frosted colors. So cute. I know. People don't like it, but I do, and that's what matters. Okay, I'm almost done. So yeah, that is so far what I learned about this situation. I will relay more when I learn more about myself, but one thing to note, one thing to have if you ever go through a situation like this is still having your group of friends that will remind you that you are not terrible, that you are a great friend, that you don't deserve this, that you are awesome and not at all what you think in your head. Oops. Because when things like this happen, you start to think, well, at least me, no one likes me, no one, I don't know, just feeling rejected and hurt, and still relying on friends to get you through this, because they're the ones that are going to show you that you are liked, you're not rejected, you are chosen. And obviously God, I leaned on my friends, I leaned on my husband. I have to use a little Q-tip for that, and it made such a difference. All right, what I've been doing in terms of hair, because I have so much frizz because of the weather, but also because I have so much regrowth from postpartum, I just have been slapping bows on my head. And I love this one, it's got pearls on it. Little like crown. And I want my natural like waves to come, so I don't want to do anything to them. There we go. So that is it for me. Thank you so much for watching, for listening, for just letting me vent out, I guess. I appreciate you. If you would subscribe and leave a comment down below, let me know what you did. If you ever had a betrayal, let me know. Let's lean on each other. Let's grow together, because this is rough. Going through something like this is not easy. Thank you guys.